Hi, my name's Amir and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a really dewy, glowing, kind of luminous, healthy looking foundation base skin thing for your face. That just explains so good. So I'm going to be showing you all the different products and steps that you can do to get a really dewy, luminous skin look. And obviously you don't have to do all of them, or you can only do one or two of them, or take like, the first and the last step, or do whatever you like to really create your custom and perfect dewy look. Obviously me, I have really dry skin, so I can do quite a lot of steps without my skin looking too oily or anything. But if you already have oily skin, you might only want to do one or two of the steps in here to create your perfect look. So if you like the dewy skin look, then keep watching. So the first thing we want to do is apply our skincare. So definitely don't skip your moisturizer or your serums. Today I used this Sukin Bio Natural Skin Oil, and it's just kind of like a little bit of a film, and it's going to mix with your foundation a little bit and just keep your skin nice and hydrated so that the moisture from all the products that we're going to put on to give a dewy look don't just get absorbed and then you end up with like a matte face. So for primer today, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Lumi Magique. I'm going to take 2 pumps of that all over my face. You want to start out with an illuminating primer because that way it's going to just kind of show through, and yeah, as many products as you want to put on, you can choose and skip some or whatever. If you have really oily skin, maybe just skip this illuminating primer and just use like your normal mattifying primer or something, because it might be a bit much with all of the steps. Or just put it like maybe on the high points of your face and not through like your T-zone if that's where you're oily or something. I have uneven texture around my nose, so I don't want that to be too obvious, because obviously the more dewy your skin is and more illuminated it is, it's going to draw light and attention to those areas. So I'm going to take a pore minimizing primer now, and it's a bit mattifying too. I'm just going to pop that over my nose on the blackheads and just uneven pore texture and whatnot, just to even it out just a little bit. So obviously that step is optional because that's not going to make your skin actually any dewier, but I think that making sure that the dew is in like the right spots is very important to achieving this look without looking like oily or greasy or whatever. So yeah, keep that in mind. One thing you can do is take an illuminizer and mix it with your foundation, and that's going to make your foundation even more dewy. However, I only really do this if I'm, say, using something like my Estee Lauder Double Wear, because that's very, very matte and I want it to be glowing. But whereas if I'm using already like a dewy foundation, I don't find that I need this. But keep that in mind, again, as something that you might want to try. I'm going to show you all the steps that you can do, and you can, yeah, customize it to suit yourself. If you're really dry, you might want to do all of the steps, and if you're really oily, you might only want to do 1 or 2 that suit you the most. So today for foundation, I'm going to be using L'Oreal Lumi Magique, and I'm going to be applying it with a damp beauty blender or sponge. You can use like the Real Technique sponge or whatever suits you, but I like using this because it just stops everything from looking too like heavy and flat on my skin. Before I put that on, I'm going to take a green concealer, because I've got, I don't know what's going on here, I've got some kind of rash thing going on there. While it's out, I might put it on the other spots that I get a bit of redness. I don't know what's going on there. I think I'm getting another allergic reaction. Another step you can do is take a dewy setting spray. So I'm going to be using the NYX one, and I'm just going to spray a little bit of that on the sponge, and you can just go over your face as well. Try to start in the areas where you want more illumination on your face. So if you get an oily T-zone, don't go straight in with the dewy setting spray, like, on your nose or whatever. Just start like here, maybe on the high points, and whatever's left over can go across the rest of your face. go ahead and apply your correctors and concealers as normal. I'm going to be using the NYX Dark Circle Corrector and the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer just around my eye area, and then I'll be back in a sec. If you like to highlight the center of your face with a lighter concealer, something like the Benefit Fake Up is really nice because it's super moisturizing and it gives like a really dewy finish. You can take it the whole way down your nose, but I don't want to draw that much attention to my nose since I said the texture there is a little bit uneven. So I just put a little bit on the tip and a little bit up here, just at the top of my nose, just cause. And again, I'm going to blend that in with the sponge. And that's just going to draw the light to those areas and kind of lighten them a little bit as well to give you that 3D effect. Now I'm going to take a liquid bronzer because I think that dewy skin looks really nice with kind of a bit of bronzer as well. So I'm going to take the L'Oreal liquid bronzer. So I'm just going to take a little bit and just apply it along my cheeks. Not right, like this is where I'd apply a contour. I'm applying it just a bit above, just to act as a bronzer. A little bit on my forehead. Wherever you put bronzer normally. I take a little bit down the sides of my nose, kind of to contour and shape it a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. The benefit of using a cream or liquid bronzer as well is that, say if you use a powder and you haven't set your face with any other, like a powder or anything, it's going to grab to those areas and it's going to look really intense. So using something like this is a lot better because it's not going to grab to any areas, you can blend it a bit more. I'm taking this Real Techniques contour brush and I'm going to buff it all in. And then just to soften, I'm just going to go again just over with the sponge. So that's how that's looking. Just really nice and glowing and nice and dewy. I'm going to take the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and I'm going to take these two colors here, so the kind of salmon one and the banana powder. I'm just going to set around my eye area. The eye area, you have to be really careful because it creases really easily. So definitely try and set that if you find that you have problems with creasing. And leave the rest of your face unpowdered if you can, or I at least powder just in here in the corners of my nose because that bit gets a little bit shiny for me. But everywhere else I kind of like the shine to be as is if I'm going for a dewy look. And when powdering under the eye area, I only powder in this little triangle here. I don't take it up everywhere where I would like apply highlighter because otherwise it's going to be like it's going to mattify those cheekbones. And I'm just going to take my normal face powder, which is the Napoleon Camera Finish powder. I like this one because it's not too matte. And I'm just going to take a little bit just in here in the corners of my nose. I don't always do this. Sometimes I leave it and then I apply powder a few hours later if I'm getting a bit shiny. Play it by ear, see what works for you. If you are oily, definitely powder those oily spots like the T-zone or wherever you get oily, because otherwise it's gonna turn into a bit of a hot mess. So yeah, do whatever suits you. Next up we want to apply our highlighter. I'm using this Kevyn Aucoin Creamy Glow Duo number 4. So this is a little bit higher end. If you want a nice affordable one, you can try the Essence So Glow. They're not too bad. I like to apply these with the Duo Fiber Contour Brush from Real Techniques, or my fingers. But I've been really liking this brush lately. So I'm going to take the highlighter now. Obviously, if you've already put powder over your whole face, don't do this. If you want to use a cream highlighter, do that before you powder, and then don't powder the areas where you want to put it, obviously, otherwise you'll mattify them. I'm going to start by putting this all over my cheekbones, just around here. I like this one because it looks really, really, really natural. And I'm going to take it up a little bit around my brows, like on the top of my brows. And I'm not going to put it right in the center of my forehead because, I don't know, I've got like a bit of uneven texture there. I'm just going to apply it here, just above my brows. Just cause, and this bit's already lighter, so it's already going to give a bit of attention there. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger and pop that on the end of my nose and just up here where I applied it before. A little bit on my Cupid's bow and a little bit on my chin. I don't always do this because again my skin has a bit of uneven texture, so I don't want to draw too much attention. But that's how that looks, just really, really dewy. And I'm going to take a little bit of the contour shade as well, just a little bit because it's already out, and just deepen up the cheek. A lot of the time I don't bother contouring anymore because I think that the amount that I highlight kind of gives me some natural contours, so yeah. If that is not enough glow for you, you can take something like the Makeup Revolution Radiance palette, and in this you've got a few different ones. This is a dupe for the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette, but I find these to be a lot more shimmery and highlightery. So you've got this one here, and I would use that if I want to be a bit more bronzed, and it gives a bit of a glow as well. And either of these to kind of, you know, you can put over the whole face really lightly or intensify them for a highlight. That's a good one. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Mary Lou Manizer by the Balm, because this one is just tried and tested. Tried and true, whatever. This one I really like. I'm gonna take it on a fan brush, and I'm just gonna apply this just here. Just there, just to really, you know, intensify the highlight. Just like that. A little bit, whatever's left on the brush can go through the center of my face. But for me, that's enough highlight. I mean, oh God, that's just gorgeous, isn't it? But yeah, I think that that is really gorgeous and glowing. I'm gonna take that NYX Dewy Setting Spray again. Whew. I think that setting spray is really, really good, especially if you're not powdering, because you want everything to lock in place. And also if you are powdering, it kind of takes away that powdery finish. If you do have oily skin, something like the Urban Decay, which one? Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, that one's really good. Sometimes I'll mix that with a dewy one, like together, because I find that this one does make my makeup last a bit longer than say like this, which kind of just gives a bit more of a dewy look. So that is everything for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my new videos. If you have any suggestions for really gorgeous, dewy, luminous products, comment those below because I'm all about that glow. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Hey.